in 3 months, we made $300,000. And it was one of the worst things we ever did in the company.
So today we're going to go into something that Kirsty has created during the time I was away in the monks. So Kirsty, take it away.
So we started Done For You, and I put a message out to our community and said we're going to be doing Done For You. And if you would like this, and this, and we put our packages out.
Can you just explain what is Done For You?
I'm going to. For me, when shitty things happen now, because shitty things still happen, things happen, the more higher up you go, the more challenges you get, the more risk you take, you're going to get challenges, okay? That's just the name of the game. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, we love it. Like, I actually enjoy it.
Would you say that's mindset?
Holy fuck, I fucked up. Like, it was good in the moment. I loved it. I was excited. I was on high octane. I was just like going hard with it, and I loved it until I didn't love it anymore, until we couldn't deliver to the same standard. And I didn't like that because that's my name on there. It was stressful.
What is up, crew? It is Bo and Kirsty, not Kirsty and Bo, and we are here for another episode of Spill the Tea
with Kirsty and Bo.
With Bo and Kirsty. We're going to do that every intro, aren't we? So it's really exciting to be back here again. We have some awesome conversations today. Since talking with you guys last, we were in the USA. We traveled to Dubai. We ran our We Breathe Success Dubai event. It was amazing.
It was so cool. An amazing mastermind retreat, man.
That was cool. Absolutely life-changing for a lot of people there.
And do you know what I loved about Dubai was that I would say there was probably 80% of people there didn't think it was even possible for them to be in Dubai.
That's right.
Literally
only a few months ago.
Only a few months ago. Yep. Well, some of them were a few weeks ago. And I think that just goes to show how fast you change and transform in We Breathe Success.
When you have the right mindset.
When you have the right mindset, but you also have the right people in your corner. You also have the right facilitators and practitioners to help you get to those things and unravel. And this is why we always say it's never strategy, systems, or marketing. It's always an identity. And one thing on that, we did have, one of our clients. It's interesting because she didn't even think about coming. And she was telling her husband, everyone's going to the Bali mastermind. And he goes, how
Dubai.
come?
Said Bali.
Yeah, sorry, Dubai. And he goes, how come you're not going? And then she actually said, she goes, I don't know. Like, I just didn't really think anything of that. And then when we started to unpack this, she actually said, I didn't feel that I would belong in Dubai.
Wow.
There was a moment.
And she definitely did.
We unpacked a lot of that in the actual retreat, and she needed to bring her fun side out and stuff. But isn't it interesting, the stories that we create, that she felt she didn't belong there, so she had actually unconsciously just wiped it out and was not even going to have a conversation about it. And, big ups to her husband being the one to kind of bring light to that. And then, then she made the decision. And then the next day, she literally made the exact money for her ticket and her accommodation. Like, that's how quickly things change, right? That's why we would say you never need to worry about the how. You just need to make the decision. The how will always come.
Yeah. And it's quite funny because we literally didn't know what to do with Harvey's birthday, and then the Disney cruise came up. It's leaving on April 6th.
Well, let's unpack that for a second. What actually happened? Because I was sitting on the bed with you, and I was like, it's Harvey's 5th, and I didn't want to go back to Australia for Harvey's 5th. And I was like, I wonder if we could go on a Disney cruise. Now, I don't even like cruise ships, but I do.
Neither do I. I've never been on one.
I have, I get seasick. I get seasick on everything. And I have heard how incredible the Disney cruise is.
Oh, mate, yeah.
And then I've seen some things. And then this is insane because Bo was like, let's go check it out. It's literally leaving from Miami. We're going to be in Miami.
It's actually Fort Lauderdale, which we're going to be up in Fort Lauderdale,
we're staying
Florida.
there because we're going to a movie premiere.
That's right.
But the craziest thing is, guys, it leaves on Harvey's birthday.
I know. And it goes to the Bahamas, which we've always said we're going to go to the
Bahamas. Yep.
So we hadn't done that. So everything was like, we just have to do this.
We have to do it.
The signs are, I don't know how we're doing it, but we're just going to do it.
What do you mean you don't know how? We're
just going to book it and we're going to be there.
We're
That's the how. But I'm
just
saying, sometimes you don't, you haven't planned around it, or it's like, oh, what do we need to do? It's just yes.
Yes,
It's just,
and everything just
it's
aligns.
just yes.
Just aligns up
and
to
I want
that.
that for Harvey. So
Yeah.
we're going to invite whoever wants to come to that.
Yeah, we've invited all our friends. Like, hey, do you want to come on the Disney cruise? And they're like, oh my god, I'd love to, but and I'm like, no, but just like make a decision and make it happen. So,
but back to Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai was full of people who'd never thought they would even go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Never mentioned some people who'd never left Australia.
Yes.
Who came to our masterminds, and then the growth and transformation. We were in a huge penthouse with a private pool and overlooking the city and
it was
in the
beautiful.
harbour
In Dubai
and
Marina.
And that was absolutely amazing. So we finished that off with a bang, and then we were supposed to go somewhere else, and then Noah, your son, our son, said, Mum, I don't want to go and travel around for Christmas. Like, I want to go have a tree.
We were going to go to the snow. We were going to go to Finland.
Yeah,
we're going to go see Santa. Like, I wanted to take the kids
is like
to go
literally
to Santa.
if you ChatGPT the best winter Santa Christmas experience in the world, it's Finland.
Yeah, it's Finland.
And it's So anyway, Noah was like, and you were like, all right, cool. And then I thought it'd be cool for Harvey. So literally within a couple of weeks, we booked to go home to surprise our families.
Yes, and that was beautiful. And, you know, and it probably also brought us right back to ground, to base level. So when Noah said, hey, Mum, like, do we have to go traveling? I really want to go home and I want to be around family, and it didn't feel like Christmas the year before. We were in Whistler, and it didn't feel like, yes, that's Whistler, babe.
Well, excuse me, do you guys all know what Whistler is? I'm just educating the people. Whistler's Canada, okay?
All right, there we go. If you didn't know, now you know. And it was really like a stab to the heart, because you know, you think you're doing all these right things and you're traveling and you're taking your kids on these experiences, but when it comes down to it, a lot of the time they want the basics, they want the foundation, they want the
family,
just the family, you know, connection, right? And so they want to be around their cousins and their grandparents, aunties and uncles and stuff like that.
How did that make you feel when Noah said that?
It made me sad. It made me sad that I was like, did we get this wrong? Trying to
that's the point I'm touching on. Is it like almost like you're giving your kids all of this, you know, travel and experience and things that maybe we wanted as kids or whatever. We're trying to be the parents that we never had.
Well, that's why I think
I didn't travel till I was 22.
Exactly right.
I never went anywhere, and I never did anything. So that's why Harvey goes everywhere. And that's why Harvey goes out for dinner. That's why Harvey comes here and goes there. But yeah, it's just interesting. I remember you talking about how upsetting it was for you, because you were like, you know, we've been trying to push all this travel on the kids and go around, and for your 14-year-old to say, hey, Mum, like, I would actually like to go home, see my grandparents, my cousins, have a Christmas tree, wake up in the morning with my brother and all that sort of stuff. I feel emotional now. Like, it's like, from a 14-year-old, we already know Noah's basically an adult, or he's very mature, but it was quite emotionally intelligent for him just not to go to the fun thing and be like,
I want to go home.
I want to go home and have Christmas, and that kind of made us think differently.
It made us like, oh, okay. And anyway, so we went back, and it was really nice. But obviously, you know, I had my eldest son there, and my mum had already asked me if I would come back because my son was going through so many medical things, and so there was a whole compounding thing. So we spent about, I think, 3.5 weeks in Australia.
And every time we go back, we're like,
it's challenging.
It's shorter.
It's challenging. It's challenging for us. I think once you remove yourself from the environment you grew up in, or the environment you've been in for many, many years, like I've been in Australia, I think 19 years now, something like that, 17, 19 years, and you obviously your whole life. Once you remove yourself from those places, you see how different the world is. And Personally, I'm not a big advocate for Australia at all anymore. I think the tall poppy syndrome in Australia is just freaking out of this world. The mindset,
the attitude. Then you got the tax and how people are treated, and the safety now in Australia is getting out of control. Like all the things you see on the news and blah blah. Like we don't need to go into it, but like the comparison of Dubai to Australia is Dubai all day, every day.
Dubai,
and like, do you know?
But even in America, like I felt really good in America. There's definitely places in America I didn't feel safe, but in terms of like human beings, I loved Austin. I loved Miami. You know, like those were just some of my favorite.
Even Arizona and stuff.
I loved Arizona. Really, like, you know, I loved the people.
Las Vegas was like one of my.
I
never really thought I would have liked it.
The second time I found Las Vegas.
Did you? But it was really cold.
It was really
cold, and we didn't do much because
we also got sick.
Yeah, we were sick.
Yeah, heaps of things happen.
But so since then, we spent Australia we spent Christmas in Australia with the family, and then we were basically like, get us out of here as fast as possible. We'll go spend, I think, 6 weeks roughly in Bali and concentrate, because this year is all about health and wealth.
Yes.
So if it's not building our health and our wealth, it's a fucking no.
Yeah. We don't have any distractions this year. It's just like it's in those 2 buckets.
That's right.
And if you get into those buckets, then it's a yes. And if it's not, it's an absolute no. Anything distracts us from that.
That's
and
right.
let's talk, like, for me, coming back to Bali was hard.
You didn't want to be here.
I didn't want to be here.
But it was a good transition to our Japan retreat.
Well, it was logistically, it made sense because we were flying my mum over. She's here now. We're flying her over to look after the kids while we went to Niseko for the We Breathe Success Mastermind retreat, and then they're meeting us in Tokyo. Logistically, it made sense. It didn't make sense to go back to Dubai and then fly my over to Dubai and then go to Japan.
But you were missing Dubai hard this time.
But this time, I absolutely were, and I completely outgrew Bali. So we were here for nearly 2 years, and my mindset this time, I didn't have the same feeling. I was a different person. I was a different version of me in here. Like, even today we were talking about, remember the first villa that we got here, and it was just like, we went from like staying in hotels in Bali when we first moved here to then we got our first villa, and we were like, thought this was amazing, and we look back now, it was a dive. Like,
it was cheap.
It was like $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and then but we thought, but as the version of ourselves then, it was like amazing. It was like, holy shit, we've got money coming in, we've got out of Australia, out of that bubble. And then as you grow and evolve and your identity changes and the things that you like, and you start shedding old versions of yourself. I mean, now like our villas are at 10 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand,
amazing.
You know, all over the world, you know, and then the level of your standard changes, right? So, and that's the quantum leap, and that's the identity.
One promise you made was like, if I'm going to Bali, we're going to Obsidian Gym.
Yes.
Shout out to Obsidian Gym.
Yeah, shout out to Obsidian.
And we are going to go hard, and we have pretty much gone to the gym every single day. It's super easy.
I don't know if you guys have checked me out lately, but I'm looking
stand
lean.
up and give us a twirl. Yeah. like you know.
Shout out to Rita.
Yeah, Kirsty's on the Reddit at the moment, but that's another podcast.
Yeah.
But like we've gone to the gym every day. Like it's super easy to eat clean here. We just finished up a challenge within We Breathe Success that we opened up to the public, which was the
awesome.
Founders Reset Challenge,
Yeah.
and that brought in close to 60 people, and all those people showed up for 21 days in a group where we all supported each other and pushed each other, and that was really easy to do in Bali. Like, we didn't drink, we went to the gym every day, and we ate clean, and we did things for
massages and all that kind of stuff,
health and wellness and self-love is very easy here. Massages, all that sort of stuff, and the food and all that. But I believe that our new version, we don't want it to be easy. Like, it's in the comfort zone, right? And for us,
I think for me also, I didn't want it to be cheap. Like, so when
it's exactly what I was about to say.
That was probably the biggest thing. Like, I sat there the other day, and I know this all makes sense to people that are on the same level as us, and this won't make sense to the people that aren't. And I mean that in a way that different people are on different levels and different versions, just like, a video game, you're on different levels.
Of course.
And, for me, I was sitting there and I was like, in Dubai, I just felt electric. I was getting massages twice a week. They were $200 each, but it was fine because we could afford that. And, you just raise to the level of your new identity, your environment, your situation, your friends, the way people that you speak to in Dubai, they talk differently. They open the door for you. You feel luxury. You feel expensive. I feel like a better person in Dubai because I raise my standards higher. I really look after the way that I look and I dress, and I dressed the part.
Every day I went out of that house, I had a collared shirt on.
Yes.
I had clean clothes.
You would open the door for me when we got out of taxis. He fucking doesn't do that now.
I don't have a taxi here. There's all
you got a scooter. You're not holding my hand off the scooter.
Yeah, and you're right. It's not rich vibes when you're getting around on a scooter in singlets and shorts and thongs and and everyone I get the energy in Bali. Like, I love Bali. Like, I've got nothing wrong with Bali, but for our new level, Bali wasn't serving it. It served us from the transition from Australia to here, when we're doing a lot of health and wellness. And I think our motto for the year was slow down to speed up, and all that sort of stuff. That was amazing. But now, like, for us, like, most people who come into We Be Success are like, I want to move to Bali like you guys. And then I try and talk to them about, like, why, and they say, oh, it's cheaper and this and that. And I said, that's not the reason you want to move to Bali. You want to move to Bali because of the freedom and the food and the health and the wellness and the energy and
the accessibility and how fast you can get access to things.
As soon as you're going for something because it's cheap, you're already in a broke mindset, and you're already going to transfer into that. And like,
your money will go down.
Your money will go down.
Your money will go down.
We came to Bali to make more money. Yeah. We said to ourselves, if we got
the goal in place, when I launched that one thing, when I came here on that holiday,
She Breathes Success, and then you got a full paying client, and then we high-fived them and said, we're going to stay in Bali.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every time we go back to Perth, our energy goes down, like, stuff drops off for us, things start slowing down or plateauing, and then we're like, nah, we need to move.
And it's because of us. We change in the
That's
environment.
Right.
That's
and
why
the energy.
The environment matters, and I cannot stress that enough. So, yeah, and so that's kind of what we did. Then we so we've been in Bali. We've gone hard out on our gym.
Yep.
I'm feeling really good.
You're looking
lost a lot of weight.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you very much. Lipo's kicking in. Retta's working, and
but you've been putting in the work too. You haven't been eating shit. You've been training every day. But I think the thing is
also, like, when you kind of like, for me, when I did lipo. Again, I never thought it was going to be that bad, but holy shit balls, it was. But my mind also, I remember staying in the hospital, and I remember being annoyed with myself. Like, you chose to do lipo, and now you're in the situation because you didn't look after your body. Like, that's all I could think. And now my whole thing is, well, you went through that pain, you're going to make sure you look after this body now. So I've always put conditions on me like that. It kind of just pushes me to do the right thing, I suppose. But yeah, so those are all the things that have happened. But today, we're
going to talk.
Yes.
Sorry.
Would you like to just jump in?
I want to jump in. So today's episode is all about something that you created while I was in the monks, because the last podcast episode we did, we were in America.
Okay. You don't need to go over the other podcast. You just need to go straight into
all
it,
right.
buddy.
This is Kirsty, me being real. But I want to introduce.
This is bro annoying me.
Well, that's real, isn't it? So today we're going to go into something that Kirsty has created during the time I was away in the monks, and where that got us to, and what happened, and then where it's at now. So, Kirsty, take it away.
Anyway, so just sometimes you just make me laugh. Anyway, so he went to the monks, and in good fashion for Kirsty, I was like, what company could I start up? Done For You, having a digital marketing agency, was always on the cards for us. It was always on the cards for me. I love startups. I love beginning in business. I actually love the hustle. I love the grind. I love the beginning stages. It's actually one of my favorite parts of business. Sometimes Bo always says to me, like, I think that you just make things hard so you can be back in that startup kind of phase and that hustle type thing. So we started Done For You, and I put a message out to our community and said, we're going to be doing Done For You. And, if you would like this, and this, and we put our packages out.
Can you just explain what does Done For You mean?
I'm going to. And so Done For You, so we put this package out, and it was absolutely insane. We literally, in 3 months, we made $300,000, and it was one of the worst things we ever did in the company. And for anyone that doesn't know what Done For You is in digital marketing terms, it was website, it was marketing, it was sales, it was social media, it was the back end of the automations, paid advertising. It's basically, there was 2 packages, the launch and lead, which was like, we come in, we do all the things and we hand it back to you, or we do a maintenance project. And it started off amazing, and then the company buckled. And it buckled under pressure. And the problem that I had here was that I had the team working for what was structured for We Breathe Success, but then adding in more and more workload, there was cracks. And then the more cracks that happened, people were getting sick. My staff was sick. I had people who had family issues. At one stage, I had pretty much my entire staff off, and I had 2 people doing in maintenance and stuff like that, and it was stressful. And I think also when you're dealing with clients' businesses and stuff like that, especially if you're in a startup or you've got a small amount of money, it can be extremely stressful. So it puts a lot more stress on you as well. And to be honest, I felt like I was failing, and it was not a nice feeling. Me and Shivani, it was really hard because we could do our part, but we really had our hands tied when it came to other staff members. Like I don't know tech. I don't know the back end in my own system that we were building out. I didn't know those things. So me and Shivani couldn't jump in and do the work. And I think that was the hardest thing for me. It was crazy. So we made a decision. We made $300,000 and we closed down the business. And for anyone on paper, it looks amazing, but it wasn't worth the stress. And yes, I could have kept it going. I could have got more staff in, but to be honest, I didn't want to put my energy into that. It pulled away from Webury Success, from my energy. I was consistently in my WhatsApp. I was consistently having like, oh my God, what's now? What's wrong? Trying to manage everything. And I was like, this is not why I did this. I don't want that. I thought that Done For You was going to be like, awesome. I'm good at bringing people in, get the team to do the work. I'm going to be making this money on the side from this as a necessary to Webury Success. So it kind of was like working because, I'm coaching everyone and then I can do all the back end stuff. So it kind of like worked simultaneously. That's a good word.
What do you feel like? What do you feel like actually failed though? What was not going right?
The foundation.
What does that mean?
Team. The team.
So the
foundation. No, we didn't have the manpower. It was too much work on the team. Every time we were trying to get new people in, they were just not good. A lot of promises and non-delivery.
Do you want to talk a little bit about like your experience in hiring staff over the last few months? Like how did that look, and what was the biggest frustration in hiring staff members?
People saying that they could do something and they couldn't. People calling themselves experts and they absolutely weren't. Saying that things were done and then they weren't.
Or not checking their work.
Then getting other team members to check their work and then saying the thing is done. Then it comes back to the client. The client's like, it's not done. And I'm just like sitting there going like, what do you mean? Like it's a really simple thing. And in my head also, like I'm not tech. No. So I don't know. I don't just presume,
But a lot of like for people listening, like this is Kirsty's side of the business, and this is why I'm asking you questions. So I'm thinking of people who want to get value out of this.
It's one thing to have a business or even the best product or service, but let's be real, when no-face Jackie32 jumps on Instagram throwing those nasty comments and you make it mean something about you, it doesn't matter how good your business is, you will crumble. That's why you need us.
Welcome to Webury Success, the ultimate experience for aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs and coaches who are ready to break through to the next level.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Waddingham.
And I'm Bo Drury.
We're not just any mindset business mentorship. We are the world's best when it comes to mindset, breakthrough, and transformation.
Our approach combines breakthrough breathwork, powerful mindset techniques, manifestation, and strategic business coaching, setting you up for each week for success and action.
If you're truly serious about unlocking explosive growth, you're in the right place.
Success starts with one essential foundation, your mindset. Without it, even the best business strategies will fall apart.
That's why we go deeper than traditional coaching. We offer advanced biohacking and mindset reprogram.
Your network is your net worth, and now you have access to ours. With all of this, success isn't just a possibility, it's your only option.
We're here to help you break through your old limits, step into extraordinary success, and create unstoppable momentum for growth. We cover it all: mindset, somatic strategy, community, and connection.
So are you ready to be the leader, visionary, and powerhouse that you were meant to be? Click the link below. Let's book a call. What I found as your partner, your business partner, and as in the family household is I found you on your phone a lot, checking work that should have been checked by people that we're paying money to check. And
Yes.
most of the times, most mistakes were coming from people saying something was done or completed, and then you'd open a link, or the worst case is a client opens a link and goes, where's this, or why is this not working, or hey, this system's broken, and then you're going back to your staff, and then the staff are saying, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was all good. So would you say that was one of the...
Oh, definitely. But I will always say this: everything is your fault. Everything is my fault. I own this company. My clients don't give a fuck about my staff. They are coming to me like, why is the job not done? And I am not a person who likes to fail. And I don't. I over deliver, and I felt like we were under delivering.
That's where I was going with that.
And I felt like I was under delivering, and I didn't like that.
You never want to do the minimum. You want to do.
I've always say this is the expectation. Do better. Like that's my standard in the company, and that wasn't happening, and that was the most frustrating thing. But it always came back down on me, and then through that time, I put my hands up, and I had to make a really tough call, and I fired 3 people, and one of those people were on our staff for just over a year, and I was like, enough. Like, I knew that I had to do this, and I should have done it beforehand, but you make all the excuses, and you're listening to them and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, after something big that had happened, I was like, that is enough. And then once it was more like, unraveling of what was actually going on in the company, there was multiple mistakes. But again, I don't know this because I hire experts. I don't hire people that can do my job. I hire people to do jobs that I cannot do.
Well, that's what we learned from Dan Martell, right? The buying back your time. Hire someone who is good at what you're not good at, but also hire someone who can do what you can't do. So, stuff that you don't enjoy doing. But one thing I remember is you woke up one day and you're like, I fired the whole team. Well, not the whole team, but you fired 3 people in the department.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, holy shit. And you're like, it's all right. I've got ads out. I've got 3 meetings today, and then I've got 4 meetings tomorrow. And you and Shivani hired a lot of other teams. So let's just talk on the team for a second. Like, what does the team look like now?
Incredible. The team is all working. My number one thing is that we check in every morning at 11 o'clock now. So from all the mistakes that happened in the last few months, there is SOPs now. There is like full system-wise, like we all check in at 11 o'clock. We have a meeting, we have a stand-up, we're meeting for 15 minutes, check in like, what are you working on? I deliver all the things that I need to be done this week. And then the team will go and use Asana, and they will go and program it all out. And then they have to, at the end of the day, they'll come through and say exactly what they did. So they'll send through that. All of that is part of the standard now.
Yeah.
We didn't have that beforehand. It was kind of like, I always have felt like, there was a lot of, there's a difference between having a business and now running a company. And I think that's the biggest thing as well. And for a long time, I was still very heavy in the operations, and then we got Shivani, and then Shivani was able to handle the operations, and then she could do that. So now I like to just I can talk to her. She's our chief of staff, and then she goes and delivers to her team. But what I also know is that the team also want me to be very much, you okay? Very much on top of everything, so they want to have interaction with me and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. But yeah, team was definitely a big thing for us. But now we have a fantastic team, fingers crossed, and everyone works together. And a team's as good
as their leadership, right?
That's exactly right. And I looked at myself. I was like, I'm not doing right. I'm not leading properly. And I also, another thing that I discovered through this, I'm an incredible self-motivated person. I am very good at inspiring. I'm very good at teaching and coaching. I'm very good at holding people accountable. Where I know that now I'm definitely not good at, I'm not good at running a team. I don't want to run the team. I don't want small talk. I don't like small talk. I don't like hand holding. That stuff frustrates me. Or micromanaging. Like, I expect if I'm hiring someone that they're an A player and then they can just go do their role.
Well, that's like when we do an interview process, we always say, like, what are you going to do for our company? And I remember that we hired some social media expert one day, and he's like, I can do all this and all this and all this and promise the world. And then on day one, he started and he goes, all right, what do you guys want me to do? And you fired him.
I fired him.
Because
that was the first thing he said. I said, that's it.
Day one, you should have looked at everything that's going on in our business, asked us all the right questions, and then basically...
Come to me and tell me.
Come to us and go, hey, look, this isn't doing good in your social media. This needs to be updated. This needs to be done this way. I could have this all done this week. I'll need this, and this from you. Passwords, blah, blah. Let me run with the wolves.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And so that's and one thing, and I think it's very important to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and the same thing with me in the gym. I don't actually like to train with anyone. I like to be on my own. It's like when you go away, I make a lot of money because like I like to be alone. I'm actually also a better mum. I feel like I'm a better mum when I'm alone. I think I have built myself so self-sufficient that I enjoy being alone. I've never been a girl to want a lot of people around me. I've never been a person like that. I validate myself. I'm okay with myself. And so I do struggle with having a lot of people around me. And so I know that I don't feel that I am a good team leader because I'm just like, just do your job. And I don't want to check up on you and stuff like that. Whereas Shivani, she's fantastic. She's very amazing. Strategic, has her systems in place, has a really good understanding and stuff like that. And then I just get to deliver the message to her, and then she looks after her team. Yeah.
I just want to ask you a question too, just to touch base on. I know that you said that, we made all this money and it failed and, but...
What failed?
It's not that it failed, but the teams failed and they didn't deliver.
But
I just want to talk.
Didn't hold the foundation.
They didn't hold the foundation, and it wasn't sufficient. Maybe that's the right wording. But I just want to talk about what we did do in that time and what you and the team did actually do. The people that we did the branding for and the done for you for were very, very happy. I think the launch and lead worked really well.
The launch and lead was brilliant.
The launch and lead worked really well.
And me personally, I know that I enjoyed launch and lead. I didn't enjoy the maintenance.
I also think one of the main reasons is we weren't a marketing company, and you just kind of it blew up fast, and then you were basically which I think this is maybe a projection of yourself, but you were trying to create everyone else's business when we needed to hone on WeBreathe Success, which, don't get me wrong, WeBreathe Success is absolutely amazing, but...
it was taken away. It was taking away my focus on there, so that I wasn't growing it.
Because we used our own team.
Yeah.
We used our own team to build everyone else's businesses.
I wasn't growing WeBreathe Success. WeBreathe Success was staying the same, and I was growing other people's businesses because my mind was on done for you.
That's right.
And I think this is a big thing in the entrepreneurial world. We are shiny syndrome, like, oh my God, I could do this, and anyone...
Kirsty wakes up to me every morning and goes, hey, I've got this business idea. Hey, what about we do this? Yep. And then she'll focus in. I'm like, Kirst, come back. Let's build this empire. But we do have some other businesses that we are bringing out this year, and I'm super excited about it. But Kirsty is very much... We'll be on the back of the bike and we'll drive past something, and then she'll sit on something for 5 minutes and she goes, hey, I just created a whole new business in my head. And I'm like, baby...
I'll literally be using ChatGPT. We're doing systems and stuff. I'll be working out numbers. Is this viable?
She's like, I've done this whole business in my head and on my phone in 5 minutes. Let's start it. And I'm like, baby, let's go back to what we're doing. But I just want to mention, you did very, very well, and so did the team in what they were doing, but it was just so overcapacitated on the sense of you were trying to do WeBreathe Success, you were trying to do that, you were trying to be a mum, trying to be a partner, which is what you always do, and you pull yourself in all these different directions, and then you rely yourself on staff, and staff aren't to your standard or to the way that you want business to run, and then that becomes frustrating. But I think after we got some feedback, because you went back to the team and was like, give me some feedback. How is it me? What can we do? What can I do? How do we have a team that works? And then the team gave us some feedback, and you took it on, and you were like, yep, all right, cool, thank you. And the team were honest and was like, hey, look, this isn't for me because I can't do all these things you want me to do. And you're like, that's cool. This isn't the role for you. Communication's great because you need that. And
also, you can't get better as a human if you do not get feedback from the very people that are directly affected by that. And that's why
this new team that we've hired is absolutely amazing. Shout out to our new team. And I've watched how different you are with them, and how more hey, how much time do we need, and can this be done or not? And you're just like, hey guys, just give me the honest truth. Don't say you can do something in 2 days and then it's going to take 4. If it's going to take 4, just say it's going to take 4, and then we can plan our week.
That's my absolute.
And you're like that in your relationship. You're like, hey babe, if you're going to be here at 5 p.m. and pick me up, don't fucking be here at 5:10 or 5:20.
I hate it.
be here, and that's all you want, and you want that respect, and
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
So,
and my number one thing is like on time is late. Like if you're on time, you're fucking late, and I hate it. And I have high standards like that. You know, we're talking about something today when we're having sushi about the standard of, you know, that was when we were first together. And, you know, we're talking about this defining moment in our life when we'd hooked up and I was kind of still seeing someone else. And even though I knew this person was doing the wrong on me, I sent you a message and said, hey, this can't go anywhere at the moment. Like I've got other things going on in my life. You know, I need to sort this out.
Didn't realize we were going to go down this subject.
I know.
It's not touchy. I just
thought I'd jump in here. And then you said it was a defining moment because Bo's old self, like he went to send me in a really abusive message because that was how Bo, when he was rejected, when he used to get rejected or anything, or rejected or abandoned, he would lash out and say all these horrific things. And I've experienced this in our friendship. That's why I got blocked so many times. And so there was a defining moment, and it's crazy that he said today, he goes, I went to send that message, I wrote it all out, and then I deleted it, and he replied going, that's okay, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
And it dropped me in. Now, if he had said the other one, we would never be together.
I know that.
That 100% that would not have happened.
And that was a defining moment where my emotions probably had affected so many other relationships and opportunities in my life, but this was the moment when I become conscious. And you know me, I respected you and looked up to you as our friend for 7 years before we got together. But you know, in that moment, I just thought there was two things. The first thing was Kirst doesn't deserve that, and me being a dick. And two, I don't want to be that guy anymore. You know, and you were one woman in my life that actually had blocked me and had been like, hey, I'm not going to put up with this fucking shit behavior. And that's exactly what you did in our relationship too. Remember the amount of times I had tantrums and ADHD or anger or unregulated moments, and you were like, what do you want me to do? I'm not your mum. Like, I'm not going to fucking baby you. Like, I don't put up with this. Like, whatever childhood trauma or whatever shit you got with the ex or mummy issues or any issues that you have, that's not my job. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your thing. And at first I was like, who the fuck? You're supposed to fucking pick me up and make me happy. And then I realized, like, fuck, have I been doing this with the whole world? Like, relying on the whole world to make me happy or bow down to me when I'm emotional? And yes, I had. My whole childhood I was like, I have ADHD. You need to fucking take time to understand me and this and that. No. What sort of entitlement is that? Yeah. So, you know, it is a lot of growth in that. And I think bringing that back to the business, the professionalism and, you know, emotional regulation.
The whole reason for me bringing that up was that, you know, you said today, like, you do the same thing in your business and your relationships. Like,
you demand the same respect and standard.
Yeah, I had a standard. So even though the person that I was seeing I knew was doing wrong, I was out of integrity for me. I needed to end that to then go into my next thing. And that's how I do the same thing in business. You know, I will end that and then move to the next thing. I like clean cuts, you know, and whether that is a like Control-Alt-Delete or a complete block, like whatever it is, but I'm a clean cut person. And I require a certain level of standard in myself. So I expect that from others, you know, but also in a team. This is one thing that I've always learned, that if your team can do 80% of your work and you've got 2, 3, 4, that's a lot of 80% getting done. Okay, so they're not meant to be 100% you. No one's going to be 100% you. No one's going to love your company like you do. Like, you're dreaming if you think people are going to love your company in the same way. They don't. They're not emotionally invested in it, you know. So as long as they're doing 80% of the work, then you're already winning. And I think that's where, when you're stepping into this next part, this next quantum leap or expansion of yourself, you have to keep letting go. There's levels of letting go and more letting go.
It's control, right?
It's control.
A lot of people look at their business like their baby or their thing, and I think we've seen it so many times where people are like, you know, they don't want to let in other coaches in their business, or they don't want to let other people run their systems.
They're getting people to do a service for them, but then they don't want to have their passes. They don't want this. And I'm like, you're making life so much harder.
My dad is a direct example of that, right? And also, my dad runs a landscaping business, and he works his ass off of 12 hours a day, and he's getting older, and he comes home every day wet from the rain, sunburnt from the sun, takes his boots off, cracks a beer, complains about even going to work the next day. And I'm like, man, like, you should have 3 or 4 guys half your age out there busting ass, paying them, and you're managing everything. But the thing is, my dad's had staff members burn him. Yeah,
he got burnt before, and then that was it.
And that's exactly what happened to us. But we had a choice. Like, we've had staff members very close with us self-sabotage our own business, right? We spoke about it last time. Yeah. We've had staff members come in and delete presentations at the retreat to try and fuck us up.
I've had staff members go into my Stripe account and delete people's subscriptions and stuff like that. You know? I had so many things happen. I had people try to like turn against us and stuff like that.
But it's similar to a relationship. You can't not love in the fact of you may be hurt because you've been hurt before. You can't do business because you've lost money, and you may lose money again, but you're giving up, right, on making more money or having
you have a choice. You have a choice in that moment are you going to like, for me, when shitty things happen now, because shitty things still happen, the more higher up you go, the more challenges you get, the more risk you take, you're going to get challenges, okay? Like, that's just the name of the game. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, we love it. Like, I actually enjoy it.
Would you say that's mindset?
Well, I look at everything as an opportunity.
But that's mindset growth,
100%.
Yeah.
It's self-mastery. You know, once you understand yourself, like when everything was going wrong with the team and this thing, or everything was done for you, I was just like, holy fuck, I fucked up. Like, it was good in the moment. I loved it. I was excited. I was on high octane. I was just like going hard with it, and I loved it until I didn't love it anymore, until we couldn't deliver to the same standard. And I didn't like that because that's my name on there, you know? And I think that's probably one of the most challenging things when it came to Done For You. And, you know, at the end of the day, like the launch and lead, like we've got a lot of amazing feedback as well. You know, a lot of amazing feedback.
People are wrapped.
Yeah, people are wrapped. They're loving their websites. They're loving their back end. Everything's working.
But they don't see that side.
Yeah.
They see the results, and they might see little things here and there, but they don't see the like how much stress it put on you and how disconnected you were from your family and stuff like that. And I think
But at the end of the day, it's not their job to know that, and that's my thing as well. And so I think there's a very clean cut. Like,
you still over delivered. Like I watched you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make sure things were done and then you gave people more than what they expected, or more than what you promised to deliver, and more time than you promised to give them time, because that's your standard, and you expect that from people, and you also expect that from yourself. 100%. So that's what you deliver.
That's exactly
so
right.
If someone's listening now, a business owner who is listening to all of this and they're resonating with it, like, what's your message for this? Like, what is your, not advice, but what is your
my message here is to still go big and do the damn thing, and that if something doesn't work out, it's totally fine, and that it's not the end of the world, and that you can keep on trying. The only time that you ever lose in life is the moment that you stop trying, the moment you do not risk things. You know, at the end of the day, not everything is going to go to plan, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this. You know, I didn't know that this was going to be like such a, 3 or 4 months of absolute hell and thinking, oh my God, what the fuck did I get myself into? But I learned a lot about myself in that time. I learned that I wasn't a good team leader. I learned that I didn't have the right infrastructure to build that company. I also learned that I needed a stronger person to take our company to the next level. So my main message here is, like, guys, just continue doing the thing, go big, learn the lessons, fail fast and move on, and don't take anything personal. Stop taking shit so personal. Like, okay, a client wasn't happy, rectify where you can. Don't make it mean something about yourself. It does mean nothing about your self-worth. It's just a lesson. It's just a learning, and that's all there is to it. And the more risks you take, the more challenges you make, that you face, the more growth you have. And it's a very exciting place to be.
Well, love that. Let's end it there. You heard it from the Queen herself, Kirsty Waddingham. Guys, that's another episode done. If you got anything out of this episode today, if anything's resonating or there's some curiosity coming around in your head, drop us in, send us a message on Instagram, reach out to us. We would love to have a chat. Share it, like it, subscribe to it. Big love to you guys. Follow your dreams. Show up 100%. Do the damn thing. Let's go. Big love.
Big love.